Welcome to a deep dive into the world of interactive learning tools.
Ooh, sounds exciting.
It is. And we're prepping for a meeting on how to integrate them, so we're going to focus on this workshop in Singapore.
Okay.
They used a tool called Easy Java Simulations, EJS for short, to teach physics.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a report here that goes into detail about it,
Nice.
even breaks down the whole 2-day workshop schedule.
Wow, that's in depth.
But what I think is really interesting is
Yeah.
it wasn't just teachers learning to use pre-made simulations.
Gotcha.
It was
Right.
they learned to build and customize their own.
So they could make the simulations do exactly what they wanted.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
It was held at this place called eduLab at AST, which is part of the Academy of Singapore Teachers.
Okay.
Before we get too deep, though,
Sure.
what exactly is EJS and why is it important for physics education?
So EJS, it's a free and open source software toolkit.
Open source.
Yeah. So anyone can download it, change it, share it, no restrictions.
So free to use however you want.
Yep. And it fits perfectly with that whole movement of open educational resources, or OER.
I've heard of OER.
Yeah, and it's basically trying to make those high-quality learning materials available to everyone,
Oh, that's awesome.
no matter where you are or how much money you have.
I see. So it really opens up a lot of possibilities,
Huge,
especially for schools that maybe they don't have a lot of resources.
for sure.
This report we have actually walks us through that entire 2-day workshop.
Nice.
Do we kind of walk through the timeline?
Yeah, let's do it.
So you can really see how EJS works in practice.
Great.
Imagine you're there,
Okay.
day one, surrounded by all these teachers.
Okay.
They're ready to learn EJS.
Nice.
The first day focused on getting everyone comfortable using it,
Makes sense.
downloading the software,
Yeah.
navigating that interface,
Yeah.
even troubleshooting, if there's any technical glitches. I bet there was a collective sigh of relief when everyone got it working.
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But, sometimes software could be kind of intimidating.
Definitely.
Was it easy to use?
Yeah, actually, one of the things they highlight in the report is how user-friendly it is.
Oh, good.
They design those activities specifically to show how intuitive EJS can be.
Nice.
They focused on features that help students learn on their own,
Mm-hmm.
but without making things too complicated,
Right. You don't want too many bells and whistles.
Exactly.
Okay, so what were they actually doing with EJS on day one?
So they started by building this simple physics model. It was a spring mass system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they used a pre-existing template. It
Okay.
was kind of like a guided introduction to the basics of EJS.
I could just imagine those teachers tweaking the variables, watching the
Yeah.
changes in the simulation and starting to see the possibilities.
Totally.
But day two is when things get really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Because they move beyond those templates.
That's right. On day 2, they went from consumers to creators.
Nice.
They learned how to adapt existing code from online libraries.
So are we talking actual coding here?
Oh.
Because, that would require some programming knowledge.
Yeah, and the report addresses that.
Okay.
They use these resources like the open source physics website and the NTNU Java Virtual Lab.
Those names are a mouthful.
I know, right? But it's basically an online platform for sharing EJS simulations and working together.
Okay.
These repositories, they have a huge collection of pre-built simulations.
So the teachers don't have to start from scratch.
Exactly. They can
Okay.
just modify the existing code.
That makes it so much easier.
And the workshop taught them how to do that.
Okay, but give me an example. What kind of modifications are we talking about?
Okay, so there was this one teacher, they downloaded a simulation of a car race,
Fun.
and then they modified the code to add in physics concepts,
Like what?
like velocity and acceleration.
So they took a fun activity and turned it into a learning tool.
Exactly.
Suddenly, it's not just a game anymore.
Right.
Students are experiencing physics.
That's the power of EJS.
You can transform any topic into an interactive learning experience.
It's pretty amazing.
And it's not just one teacher doing this. It's a whole community.
Yeah, a global community of educators all sharing and adapting these simulations.
That's really cool. But we've only covered the first 2 days of the workshop.
I know, right?
We'll have to dive into this collaborative community and what it means for the future of learning in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
But that's all for now.
Okay.
So we left off talking about teachers becoming creators of simulations.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
But this workshop in Singapore, it was about something bigger than that, right?
You're right. It really emphasized that creating these simulations isn't something you do alone.
Okay.
It was about working together.
Collaboration.
Exactly.
Okay, so Did they, like, specifically address that in the workshop?
Absolutely. Remember that NTNU Java Virtual Lab?
Yeah, the mouthful.
Well, the workshop ended with teachers publishing their simulations on that
Oh,
platform.
so it's like a library specifically for EJS simulations.
Yeah, you got it. It's a central hub for educators all over the world.
Cool.
They can share their work, download simulations others have made,
Okay.
give feedback, and even collaborate to make things better.
Wow. So, like, a teacher in Singapore could create something, and then a teacher in Brazil could adapt it for their students.
Exactly. It creates this ripple effect of knowledge sharing.
That's amazing.
Hmm.
And it's not just teachers who benefit, right?
No, think about the students.
Oh, right.
Especially students in communities that maybe don't have a lot of resources.
Yeah, they might not have access to fancy lab equipment.
Right, but they can still experience these high-quality simulations.
Like leveling the playing field.
Exactly, everyone gets a chance to learn.
The report even mentioned a teacher who created a simulation to help students understand climate change.
Oh, wow.
They could change different variables and see the impact on ecosystems and weather patterns.
That's a great example of using EJS to tackle real-world issues.
Yeah, make it relevant to students' lives.
And it helps make abstract ideas more concrete.
Right? I'm starting to see how EJS could be used for way more than just teaching physics.
Absolutely.
It's about critical thinking, problem solving.
You're getting it.
So the workshop wasn't just about teaching teachers how to use EJS.
Nope.
It was about teaching them how to be better teachers in general.
It's about using technology to improve teaching methods.
So it's more than just the technology itself.
It's about using technology to change how we learn.
Interesting.
It's about making education more engaging and student-centered.
I like that.
Yeah.
And this is all super relevant to your meeting, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You're going to be talking about how to integrate interactive learning tools.
Right, and I can talk about how these tools, when used the right way, can really change the classroom.
You can emphasize the importance of professional development.
Yeah.
It's not just about learning how to use the tool.
It's about helping teachers become innovators and creators.
Awesome. So as you get ready for your meeting, remember, it's not just about the technology.
It's about how we use technology to transform learning.
Empower both teachers and students.
Exactly.
This conversation has been really eye-opening.
Me too.
But before we go off on a tangent brainstorming,
Right.
let's bring it back to the EJS workshop.
Okay.
So we've talked about how EJS empowers teachers
Right.
and how the workshop really encouraged collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one more thing that I noticed in the report.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
It wasn't just about teaching physics
Okay.
or even just teaching the teachers how to use EJS.
Right.
It was about teaching teachers how to be better teachers overall.
Yeah, I think you're right. They were modeling good teaching practices.
Like by going through the steps of, creating, sharing, and refining the simulations.
Yeah.
The instructors were demonstrating inquiry-based learning, collaboration, and how to use technology effectively.
It's like they were saying, hey, this is how you create engaging learning experiences.
Yeah, not just with EJS, but like with any subject.
Exactly. And those skills like inquiry collaboration, digital literacy,
Yeah.
those are so important for students today. Absolutely.
It's not just about memorizing facts anymore.
Correct.
It's about thinking critically, solving problems, and being able to adapt to a world that's constantly changing.
So this workshop, it wasn't just about a specific software tool.
No, it was about a bigger shift in how we think about education.
I see. And that's something you can definitely talk about in your meeting.
Oh, yeah.
When you're discussing interactive learning tools.
For sure.
But you can talk about how these tools, when used the right way,
Right.
can help teachers create more engaging and student-centered experiences in the classroom.
Exactly.
And you can really emphasize the importance of professional development.
Yeah.
That goes beyond just, the technical aspects of a tool. It's about empowering teachers to be innovators and creators.
And to build a community of collaboration and sharing.
Just like the community that's built up around EJS.
Exactly.
So as you're prepping for your meeting, remember that it's not just about the technology.
It's about using it to transform learning.
To empower both teachers and students. And to inspire a lifelong love of learning.
That is a perfect note to end on. I hope this deep dive has given you some valuable insights
Me too.
and some inspiration as you explore the world of interactive learning tools.
Yeah, it's been great.
Remember, the possibilities are endless.
Absolutely.